Well, what's next for two law enforcement facilities in downtown Indianapolis? And good news if you're into selfies, fingerboarding, or drip bar therapy. Our partners at the IBJ are checking those stories and a lot more in this week's edition. And pleased to be joined this week, as always, by Editor Lesley Weidenbener. She's joining us now for a preview of this week's edition from the IBJ headquarters on Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. Welcome, Lesley.
Thank you so much, Gary.
Okay, interesting story, or one that at least I've been interested in, part of an economic development package at the State House, and that's state incentives to attract remote workers to come live in Indiana. There's a bill making its way through the State House.
Sure, this is part of a larger effort to, I think what Secretary Chambers has said, retool the toolbox. And what this would allow is for people to move to Indiana who are remote workers and get grants of up to $15,000 paid out over 3 years. And then there are some other incentives in there as well for companies that want to have remote workers in Indiana. And so it's their states wants to approach it from the worker side and the company side.
Yeah, I know a lot of competition because other states are doing that as well. Also, as I mentioned in the introduction, reuses, RFPs out now for some pretty high-profile projects, the old jail and also the processing center in downtown Indianapolis. What might be next for them?
Yeah, these are the near east, on the near east side of downtown. And they're interesting buildings because they were historic buildings that were actually reconfigured to be jail spaces. They could go back to their original buildings, or that, you know, there could be a proposal to do something new. It's complicated, though, Gary, because the interstate is right there, railroad track right there, and there's actually an underground waterway right there.
Wow.
So it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, lots of challenge to be sure. Dave Lindquist has what I think is maybe the interesting story of the week. Some unique businesses, right?
Yeah, he looked at 3 companies that are retailers. They're just not quite what you'd expect. One of them is Selfie WRLD. And, you know, Selfie WRLD is a place where people can go and take photos of themselves in lots of different areas, lots of different vignettes. You pay a fee to spend some time there. Another place where you pay a fee to spend a little time is, I don't know if you remember these, Gary, but they're these tiny little skateboards. They're finger skateboards, and you use your fingers to move them around. And there's a guy on the south side, kind of close to UIndy, that has opened I think it's the United Finger Skateboard League store, and where you can go and play with them on lots of different objects. And then there's a drip bar that is all about getting IV vitamins and things like that. There's going to be as many as 10 locations of that in Indianapolis.
Holy cow, 10 locations. Okay, hey, quickly, we're almost out of time, but aqua hiring, right? This whole your workforce challenge, companies actually buying other companies to get the workforce?
That's right. Sometimes you can't find the talent that you need, and the best way to do it is to get an entire company. Rather than persuade someone to make a change, you can buy the company and get not just the technology, but the talent who created it as well.
Lots of great stories this week, as always, in the Indianapolis Business Journal. Lesley Weidenbener, thanks for joining us from Monument Circle. We'll see you soon.
Thanks so much, Gary.